Hey guys, what's up? Fatboy Eats here. Really excited to make something for you today. It's one of my favorite dishes. It's called balbacua. It's from the Philippines, from my island in Bohol. Basically 5 ingredients: cow's feet, scallion, carrots, ginger, a little bit of soy sauce, and black pepper. And you know what? To get good with a notch, you can add a little salt, but we won't probably need that until later. So here we go. We're gonna clean the cow's feet. We're gonna start cooking, get that boiling, we'll clean our vegetables. Alright, let's go. Alright, well, first things first. What we gotta do with these things is we gotta wash it. We gotta get all of the bone residue out of it, because actually this goes through a bandsaw just like that, and it has all those bone particles. We just want to make sure that none of that gets into our soup. We don't want any bone particles in the soup. We want it to be very silky. We want it to be very smooth, very creamy, very tasty, very rich. So what we're going to do is we're just going to wash it in running cold water. You never want to do it with hot water because it's going to start to cook. So we're just going to lightly rinse it and we're going to put it straight to our pot. Yeah, after we've cleaned all the bones, we just want to lay them right on top of a nice deep pot, heavy pot, and you want to add enough water just to cover the bones, because we're going to cook it low and slow, okay? Because this is going to take a little bit of time. We're probably going to boil it for about 2.5 to 3 hours, but you know what? Good food takes time, and time makes really good food. So we're going to put this into the fire now. We're going to bring it up to a boil, bring it down to medium, and then we got to make sure we shave off all the residue that comes up top, and we'll show you that later on when it starts boiling. Now that we got my babies nice and clean, ready to go, we're going to put it in the pot. Like I said, just add enough water to cover the entire pieces of meat in here. And that's the most important thing. We just got to bring it to a boil because it's going to take a few hours. And well, during that time, we're going to cut our vegetables. Alright, now that we've got our cow's feet in the water, we're going to cut our vegetables, get it ready so that after it gets nice and tender, we're just going to add all the aromatics ready to go. So we've got our ginger, scallion, and carrots. We're just gonna roughly, medium bite-sized pieces, because it's a stew. We don't want it too small. So, but the ginger I'm gonna mince. All right. So basically, what we're gonna do with the scallions is we're just gonna cut the tips off. Be careful not to put too much to waste. Okay, just a little bit. All right. We're gonna put those to the side, and we're gonna go about 1/3 each. Okay, so the whole scallion cut into 3. So we're looking at about these sizes, because this is going to shrink in the soup. But we want that full scallion flavor into it, so we're just going to get that going. Okay. You want to use both the greens and the whites. We're gonna peel our carrots. Well, actually, for the carrots, I like to use a spoon because it only gets the skin out. If you use an actual peeler, it actually takes a lot of the meat out as well of the carrots. So that's why I use a spoon. Okay, I use it for this one as well. Alright, so now we have a skinless carrot. That's all the skin only, no meat. And so we're just going to cut it whole, okay? We're going to cut it into about 1-inch pieces. Just to keep it nice and rustic, because the carrots are going to give it the sweetness that we're looking for, because this is an all-natural, delicious soup. So we're going to peel the ginger. As you can see, I'm using again a spoon, because it just takes out the skin and nothing else, right? You don't want to waste any of that stuff. So Just use it just like a regular peeler. That's how you peel ginger. Okay, now that there's no more skin on the ginger, we're going to dice it. Alright, it just started boiling. So right when it starts boiling, we have to skim off the top layer because we want it to be clear. Okay, this is what happens. You see all these white little bubbles? We got to get it out of there. That foamy stuff. Okay, this is called skimming. Skimming, not the flavor, but skimming the debris or the little flavors that you don't want in your broth. Okay, this is a very, very French method. It's actually pretty fun. We're gonna just skim the fat, skim the extra residue in here, okay, the stuff that you don't want, just so that you have a nice, clean, delicious broth. Okay, you're gonna do this a few times actually, so don't be surprised to see yourself with a little bit more foam after it keeps boiling. And just put it over here to the side. It's okay to take some broth out because we're going to add more water later anyway, because it's going to take a few hours to boil. Alright, now it's been simmering for the last 3.5 hours, so I'm going to show you guys what the broth looks like. And look at that. It's actually turned white and no longer clear. So this is when we actually add our aromatics here. We're going to add our ginger. Well, yeah, now we're going to add our carrots and our ginger. And we're going to let that cook off for another 20 minutes until the carrots get soft. But at the same time, we'll add half of our scallion so that it gets cooked off. We're gonna add about 7 whole black pepper. Yeah, and then now we're gonna add about a half a cup of soy sauce. You can use either soy sauce, but try to use dark soy sauce. Just about a half a cup. And 1 teaspoon of salt. And then we're gonna mix it all. Colorful, bright. It's starting to get thick. We're gonna give it a nice little taste right now to see where we are. Oh wow, maybe just a little bit more ginger. Once the carrot cooks down, it's gonna make it a little bit sweeter. The ginger is really gonna come out, its full essence, and the cooked scallions will give it that nice light oniony flavor to the broth while it gets thickened. So we're going to cook this for another about 25 minutes, and then the sauce should just be slightly reduced so it becomes thick, and then we'll add the rest of the scallions.
There you go.
Yeah, so we're having a really good time stirring this pot of delicious goodness, but we want to make sure that the carrots are well done, fork tender. We want to make sure that the ginger has had some time to actually seep into the broth, and we're going to leave it uncovered because I want it to reduce a lot more so that it'll make the sauce more richer, more thicker, and eventually it's going to be the most delicious broth I've ever had, or you've ever tried it once you make it. So we'll let that simmer off and finish off with the scallions. Alright, well, we're just going to test it out to see if it's actually tender already. And then I usually use a knife, but don't do this at home. We are almost there. Still got that nice crunchiness, but it's getting really tender, so perfect timing, about 25 more minutes after you add the aromatics and the vegetables. And you should have perfect balbacua. All right, the time has finally come, and I'm so excited to try this food. It's, oh man, it's gonna be really fatty. It's got a lot of tendon. It's gonna be gelatiny, and if you like that kind of stuff, this is your dish, and I can't wait to try it. We're gonna put it on the plate right now. Eat it with some fresh steamed rice. We've been waiting a few hours, but we're ready to go. All right, here we go. Oh my goodness, look at that. It's already reduced down by almost half. The carrots are fork tender. The scallions are just done. The smell of ginger is amazing, and look how soft it's become. Look at that. Look how gelatinous it is. Look how it's so bubbly and bouncy. Look at this piece. Oh my goodness. I could squeeze that with my spoon. I could cut it. All right. We got these two nice little bowls here. We're about to plate up our balbacua. So we'll start with, oh my goodness, look at that. Look at that piece right there. Wow. But we're gonna get all the, whoa, look at that. All right. Put a little carrot in there. Definitely some scallions, because that's good. I'm gonna scoop out some, oh my God, look at this piece right there. Oh wow. All right, ginger. We put tons of scallions, so I know it's in here somewhere. There we go. And we're just gonna put some broth, and oh look, a little piece of tendon right there. Oh my God. If you could only smell, all right. I'm not gonna put the whole pot in one bowl, so I'll just put one more piece so it's not overloaded. But look at that. All right, typically we eat balbacua with some rice. So we cook some fresh white rice, and then it's gonna be so delicious with it. All right, guys. All right, we're gonna try what we've been waiting for, almost 3.5 hours, but it's all worth it, right? If it's delicious. So I'm gonna try the broth. Careful, it's really hot, oily. Oh man. I just want to pour it all over my rice, which is what I'm gonna do. So you take a little bit of soup, or a lot, up to you. So I got this tendon. I'm gonna get a little piece of the skin, a little bit of that cartilage. Oh my God, it's still alive, actually. It's all in one spoon now. Scallion, tendon, fat, and then rice right after. Oh man, that's delicious. Well, look, I hope you guys get a chance to make this recipe. This is how you make balbacua. Very delicious, authentic cow's feet stew with carrots and scallions. Please subscribe to us. Click down left or right, up and down, but to see more food recipes and more food adventures with Fatboy Eats. See you soon.
Balik sa bohol, balik. Balik sa bohol, balik. Sa pagkatulog mo